Well, winter riding season is officially here and you've gone and bought yourself a Pole Taiga fat bike, and I'm gonna show you how it's gonna be shipped to you, what's in the box, how to put it together so that you can get out on the trail as fast as possible. All right, so my bike just arrived yesterday, quite literally, and we're gonna take a look. One bike box right there. Now, this box looks a little small, doesn't it, for an entire bike? Like, how are two fat bike wheels fitting in here? Well, they're not. So depending on where you live in the world, you'll either receive one box with the entire bike inside, or two boxes, one with the frame and one with the wheels. So for example, for myself who lives in Canada, and other people who live in the United States, you'll probably receive two boxes with two separate tracking numbers, and most people over in Europe will receive one box with everything. So this first box has the bike frame and lots of the other parts in there, and then there's a second box right here with your wheels. Hooah! Wheel number one, all inflated out of the box, ready to go. There's not really anything you have to do there. The disc rotors are already mounted. Everything's good to go. Wheel number two, same thing. Cassette's already mounted, disc rotor's already mounted. All I had to do was pump it with air, ready to hit the trail with the second wheel. Okay, let's look in the box, shall we? So this is what it looks like when you open the box of your new bike. Pull this sort of top cap thing out, just for protective purposes. And there we go. One bicycle. So as you can see, everything's packed nice and neatly with bubble wrap. We've got our crank arms. Crank arms? Hello, there you are. I should also mention that this is the Pole Taiga TR edition. Next up, seat posts. There we go. And if you'll notice with the brakes, it's all connected right to the lever, pre-bled, so you shouldn't have to bleed the brakes before you go and ride. Very nice. And obviously next up is the frame itself. And at the bottom is, you've got your chain, your headset, and all the other little bits and bobs that you need to put this thing together. We've got the handlebar connected in there with the rear brake already attached, which is super nice. And actually, I'm gonna go and get my bike stand. Just threw the seat post in, so I can pop this into the bike stand. You don't need a bike stand to do this, but definitely makes it a lot easier. Just gotta take all the pieces of packaging off. I'm just gonna put that there for now. Very pro mechanic of me, but hey, it's a good place to put it. For now. There we go. Oh man, I really like this color. Okay, it's all unpackaged other than the handlebar up here, which I'm gonna put on next. So like I was mentioning before, everything you need is in this bag here, including the headset cups, and then we're just gonna pop this fork on. Oh, look at that. They even put in little pedal washers for when you put your pedals on. So here are your headset bearings, and there's some spacers in the box as well. But all you have to do is throw this on, like so, onto the bottom of the fork. And then once you put your fork through the head tube, this little guy goes on top of the head tube. Okay, we could probably pull that out now. And then you have the top bearing, just goes on like that, right there. Just like so. There we go. Now, I think I'm gonna add some spacers to this. And you can of course cut down your steer tube to how you see fit. For now, we're gonna leave it just like that. Perfect. And you just throw your stem cap on. There we go. I tend to want to leave the steer tube uncut and with all the spacers in. That way I can really fine tune my exact bar height for that bike before cutting anything. And next up, we're throwing on the front brake lever. Okay, next up we're going to be putting on the derailleur. First thing you got to do is pull out the axle. And so the derailleur will actually already have the derailleur hanger on it needed for the bike. And there's a little screw right there that needs to be taken out in order to actually put it into place. There we go. There we go, just slots in like that. Nice and secure, and you just put that little screw back in. There we go. At this point, you could pull out the little brake block that came in between the pads. Make sure you hang on to it if you're traveling and anytime you have the wheel off the bike. Okay, next up, we're gonna put on the cranks. So these are self-extracting, so you just spin it off of one side, Pull off the spacers. Throw it through the non-drive side. There we go. And toss on the crank. Now, it is highly recommended that you use a torque wrench for this, but I don't have mine with me today, so we're just gonna pretend I used one. But seriously though, use a torque wrench. All right, things are looking pretty good here. Let's throw on the wheels. And the monster truck is beginning to take shape. There we go. A little harder to do when it's not on the ground. Okay, we're almost done. We just gotta throw on the chain, pedals, and this thing's ready to ride. This bike is gonna be off the chain. Am I right, guys? Right? Guys? So just make sure it's in the smallest cog in the back, which this is. And so the chain goes over the first one, under the next one, and out. Now, I should mention that this bottom pulley is a narrow wide configuration, so just make sure it is in the right position on the chain. And other than that, it's pretty straightforward. And being that it's got a master link or quick link or whatever they're calling it this month, it makes it really, really easy because you don't even need a chain breaker. Pop it together like so, give it a bit of a tug now, and once the bike is on the ground, you usually just give it one good stomp on the pedal with the chain on the upper side, and that gives it enough tension to pop this all together. All right, so I'm just gonna put the quick link up top, and you just give it a good yank. Now it's all tight, working smoothly. Engage the clutch. That is ready to go. And just like that, in only a few minutes with the most basic of tools and even the most basic of mechanics, can put together this bike and get ready for the trails. All I gotta do is throw my pedals on and I'm out the door. All right, everybody, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy your new Taiga fat bike. If you have any questions or comments or ideas for new videos, make sure you put them down in the comments and I'll check every single one. And if you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe to the Pole YouTube channel for a new video every week. All right, everybody, have a good ride.